Hi again. Okay, so you're probably wondering what all this is all about, but this is just going to be a little thing. I promised my friend Arlene that she wanted me to make a little tutorial on Mo's famous ha 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 fantasy flowers. So I just wanted to show you some of the different things that I use so we can get a look like some of the bloomers, some sweet peas, some mum, and all of these different things. So I'm just going to do a quick little one, and you're going to totally laugh when you see how fun this is and how easy this is. Okay, here's my beloved cheesecloth. So let's just say that we wanted to make like a bloomer look, but with texture. Are you ready for this? There should be no tutorial. How many times have you wrapped something up around your fingers? And notice it doesn't have to be the same width or anything else. So depending upon how loose you want this or how thick, you would just make more of it. So you just wrap it around your finger and you literally, can you see, slide this off and tuck them under. And there's our first flower. And then you can come back and glimmer mist it or anything you like. But how cute is that? Doesn't it look real? And a little shabby, look right there. I'm going to use a black one because it's the only one that's handy right now. But just picture it with a leaf underneath it, and you want it to look. That's why I like the look of, like it's all frayed. Give it a more vintage look. Okay, so there's flower one. I should probably leave it up here for you, right? So there we have a little mini bloomer. And then, just put your little paper underneath it and tuck it under, and there you go, and glue it down. So now this, love this so much. This is that new ribbon from Webster Pages, and I just whacked off a bunch. I can't wait to put this on a dress form. Picture this all piled up like a tutu. Put a little pair of ballerina shoes down there or whatever. How cute would that be? But anyway, so here we go again, wrapping it around. And I'm going to make this one really full because I want it to look like a chrysanthemum. And once again, are you ready for this? You just tuck the ends under. And there it is. And you glue it down, and there is your mom. Tell me these don't look real. Okay, Mo, they don't look real. Now, here's my favorite one. Now, this, you're not going to believe this. This piece right here, for example, this is how big it was. This is the famous baby wipes. We lovingly refer to these at home as butt wipes, okay? And I mean it in a loving way, so don't get mad at me. But I want you to know that you can cut them if you want them wide. You can get like 3 of them out of there. If you want to do little baby roses, you can do it, like 6 across or whatever. But look at this. This is so fun. So I just first, I didn't even wait for them to dry when I took them out of the package. I just started spritzing up my made-up colors that I use with my a combination. Some of them I used my mica powder. See, there's a little bit of glimmer in here. And some of them I used my Perfect Pearls and mixed it with water. Some of them I just did straight, what am I trying to say? Chalks. I even used chalks. But anyway, so there's that. So I just made up, see, a bunch of different colors. And I love anything that looks like, to me, like Monet colors, really watered down and just pastels. I just love them so much. Okay, so we're going to take this big one. I hope I made this long enough. And remember, it doesn't have to be all perfect. If you want it to be fuller, you can put them in half, and you'll get a fatter look to it, but it's still the same thing. And you literally just wrap it around your finger and tuck underneath the end. Now tell me, people, is this not as cute as a bloomer, really? Look at that. Oh, I didn't tuck it in too far, but you get the idea, right? So there's one of them. And you literally, or if you like the back, you can go for that look too. So, and look how cute those colors are together. Okay, so we have one of those, and so you can just knock these out till the cows come home. Then I tried it. Look at this. I took some of the 7 Gypsies new tissue paper because I wanted to get a vintage look and see how the tissue paper worked out. And notice this is not cut like really pretty, like there was going to be a contest or a test of any sort. And so it doesn't matter because it's going to be wrinkled up. So this one I actually folded it already in half because I made it really wide. And so here we go. Just wrap it around. And then sometimes I twist it in the middle to get a different texture. It just doesn't matter at all. And you literally just pop it in the center. And you can leave that one all the way up, or you can tuck it back in. It's however you like. I didn't do that one right, but I want you to see how easy is this to fix your boo-boo. Because there are no mistakes in paper crafting, I always laugh and say. Now see, that's got even, oops, that's too big. But it typically works really well the first time around. And you just wrap it in. right? And then you can glimmer mist on top of them. You can do your paints or whatever. Okay, then we take, for example, this one. I love this paper. You guys have seen it in my, that I use it for packing material. 20 years ago, I'm not lying, 20 years ago when I didn't know any better, I love to spend money, and if it's pretty, can I have it? It always just gets me. So I bought a ream of, I think it was 5,000 sheets of this, and I got it for a song and a dance. But anyways, I love this paper. I use it for everything. So here's one. Are you ready? Here's a look that you're not going to believe. You literally take it. There is no tutorial. I'm telling you, people, you just wad it up. You just wad it up, and you get a wadded up piece of paper. And if you start manipulating it, you can get a really cool look. But if you don't like that look, which I happen to love, I always laugh. I always take my little projects in and show them to my Joe, and I said, Joe, so does this look like a flower or a wadded up piece of paper? And he always just laughs. So, but if you don't like that look, once again, you just wrap it around. So you guys have to try this. You're going to totally feel like you're 5 years old again. And there it is. Isn't that cute? Maybe you don't like it, but I do. Okay, so there we have that look. And then what else did I want to show you? You can do it with tulle if you like that look, once again. And you don't have to cut it pretty. See, I did not cut that pretty at all. And then you can glimmer mist this first if you want, or paint it with your stuff to give it a little more sturdiness. But I just love these flowers. And it was just such a fluke. It was just such a fluke, and I says, I got to pass it on. But I have all different kinds of flowers that I make, and I make them out of different things, and I make them out of different styles. Some I do with the, you've seen the ones that I had in our first cigar box swap. Those were actually cut out of the dies from Tim Holtz, and that was fine. But see, oops, I didn't get my tail in. You guys make me nervous. But anyways, when I'm doing it by myself, I can just knock them out as fast as that first one. And then you might have to put it on a little piece of paper, but they nest really cute together. You know what I mean? So you can stand them up to get a different texture. Okay, and then the last one I wanted to show you, this is my version. This is my version of a sweet pea. And you know how sweet peas are just that really paper thin little, just like this, paper thin little petals. And you just wad it up, but you basically want like almost like a cone. And then when you set it down, doesn't that look like a sweet pea or a snapdragon? Seriously, can't you just see? Remember when you were kids, you used to poke them? And then when you get that done, then I like to take my quilling paper and I make the vines, because it grows on a vine, and it makes a really cool border. So if you had a whole bunch of your little sweet peas, right? Picture this. You got to use your imagination, because you guys are making me nervous. But you can usually make these at home and show you as a finished product, and you're fine. But see how cute you can make it into a rose? You just manipulate the paper. That's what I love about tissue, because you can just make it do anything you want. All right, so anyway, so that one's done. But anyways, and then you just put your little quill in, like around it, and there you go. So that's some of her fantasy flowers that you really have to use your good imagination for, okay? But when they're all said and done, they're very pretty. Okay, thank you. Bye.